Chapter 11:10 Relativity. You are listening at FameTV.info. Once Fox/S influence on the traditional media side is expanded, its push capability is extraordinary. Although in the internet era, the traditional media has lowered a lot of media weight points for the younger generation, that is, the audience in the core age group of Marvel, but it is nothing more than increasing the difficulty of using this method to push conversions, which is high in a short period of time. Frequent and high-intensity multi-displays often appear in the sight of the audience, and it is not easy to not be subtly affected by the attitude of watching movies. The role of advertising, of course, pays attention to the conversion effect, but it is also very valuable for the packaging of image word-of-mouth, especially after the first day of Dark World made relatively dazzling progress. Newspapers and magazines around the world, especially the print media, radio, and even some of the Internet media windows controlled by News Corporation, have tacitly promoted the film. There are constant good words, and he is proficient in finding a point of praise and Amway.in in order to get the zhou guan, a high amount zhou guan. The two companies increased the publicity of other traditional dressing channels and reduced the number of meetings. They actively guided positive public opinion, and soon surpassed the champion of last week /S box office list. The suspense film Never Ending by Relativity Entertainment Investment accumulated the box office for 3 days over the weekend. Speaking of which, Relativity Entertainment is also a studio brand that has emerged in recent years. As a company with a Wall Street background, they also took the financing route at first. In 2004 and 2005, they signed a $1 billion platter with Universal and Sony Columbia. The agreement is gradually passed, learned, and gradually independent of one party, and there is a certain mature audit and production system. However, this production company that likes to develop medium investment works the most has encountered the most unreasonable Marvel movies, even if Never Ending only received $19.84 million from 2,100 theaters last weekend, and put it in front of the media. The words passed 30 million in 2 weeks, and half of the cost was amortized, but the market was slapped in the face. The main reason is that the audiences of the two are too overlapping. There is no way you have Dark World plays better. How much competitiveness is there at all? Robert, after the work you starred in this week met several other new works, the share fell by 60% in a single day, and it continues to decline. Do you have anything to say? No way, Marvel is too popular. My youngest son would rather watch The Dark World than my movies. Robert Deroni said, helplessly facing the reporter, spreading his hands. So, what do you think of the industry /S prediction that the second part of the Thor series is likely to exceed 150 million in a single week, an increase of nearly 47% from the previous one? Now everyone is saying that it is the credit of reunion. Originally, this role did not fire. The Avengers is definitely helpful, but the more important thing is the charm of the characters and the plot itself. My youngest son likes Spider-Man more, but that doesn't prevent him from supporting Thor. Then have you seen this movie? Can you chat? Of course, I went to see it yesterday. It just that it not a work that my age group likes. It more suitable for young people, and it a bit too noisy for me. Then do you want to work with Marvel? I mean, if they invite you to play a role. Who would say no? My son would be very happy if I actually appeared in a superhero movie. As the concept of Marvel is getting better and better, the older generation of superstars is getting lower and lower. No way, this is an era of traffic, and compared to the praise from opponents, Relativity Entertainment has not done much to resist, engaging in negative smears or something. Of course, it may be because they are smart enough to know that they can resist this wave of Fox plus Marvel /S offensive, so they might as well lie down and let them run. Thor /S derivatives have sold 170,000 units, Haven /T It /S very good, and the growth trend is obvious. In addition to the success of the box office market, the growth of the character economy is also the same day by day. for a time, Marvel /S scenery was unparalleled. In the office, Layman happily put away his phone. There is a saying to say, eating traffic meals is really making money, and young people /S wallets are easy to dig. However, he didn't pay attention to this place for the past 2 days. He knew that there was no problem with the project in various business runways, and soon went to Joseph /S place. Although the online video website has not been officially implemented, it does not prevent him from setting up the stage of Game of Thrones first. The shooting cycle of this drama is much longer than that of ordinary film and television dramas, and it must be pushed forward. Speaking of which, he hesitated beforehand whether to insert commercials in the episodes. If he wants to learn from Netflix and occupy the market in the early stage to gain more favorable impression of the user experience, he will definitely give up this piece of cake. But if it is to cooperate with traditional TV stations, if you open a membership, you can close the advertising page after watching it for a few seconds. In fact, the advertising effect has reached the routine, and there is room for operation. The existing profit models such as Hulu and Amazon can also learn from the examples of paying and advertising, but no matter what, he is too optimistic. In his heart, Game of Thrones is a big stock. Keep an eye on the quality. You can make money no matter what you do, but others /T know, the shooting cost of the drama is so high, and the corresponding cost of purchasing the drama is also an industry ceiling. Many TV stations are afraid to talk about it when they hear it is so expensive. Even if Joseph suggested that cost funds could be replaced by other profit-making methods, such as giving Firefly a few more points for advertising revenue, few companies were interested. The office door opened. Joseph is sorting the papers. After Lehman came in, he walked around and asked, "Have you got any idea about the follow-up broadcast?" Joseph had a headache. HBO is already the most sincere, but they demand exclusive, first broadcast and then pay, and online video carriers are not allowed to compete with him for viewership. Maybe he interprets what we mean as too risky. Gao Yang made a bet and said bad things about Netflix. Lyman digested the message, not surprised at all. From the standpoint of HBO, they must think that Firefly is on their side, and they are traditional film and television producers. www.novelhall.com trying to win goodwill. After all, Firefly /S streaming media plan has no shadow, and relatively it is said that Netflix is really the grave digger of the TV station. Its appearance, people with discerning eyes know that it is the root of the TV station, and it is also the culprit that caused a new batch of people such as the post-.80s and post-.90s to abandon TV and gradually rely on mobile terminals to watch movies. Culprit. If nothing else, just look at Netflix /S rising user base and user activity every month, and you can get a glimpse of the loss of traditional TV media. Is it really impossible to talk? Lyman asked. If it really doesn't /T work, he plans to give up the TV platform and spend money to divert traffic to the online video field. Although, his initial plan is to think that the streaming media market is not broad enough, and the whole is not comparable to the TV group, even if the traffic is not hindered. He makes more money on the TV side. After all, the existing degree of overlap between the two is not exaggerated. It can be completely paralleled. To put it bluntly, no matter how powerful, convenient and fast you are in streaming, some people will like TV. A kind of carrier, but for Firefly, the only option that cannot be discussed is to embrace the future. Money, no one is too much, but it can /T hinder the company /S general policy of transformation. In 2 days, I will talk to the people from HBO again. If there are no new changes, it should not work. Okay, remind me when you touch it. Lehman didn't /T say much, and turned to talk to Kevin Feige on the phone. Please remember this book /S first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Listen to the full novel at famvetv.info, direct link in the description.